Hi everyone, it's Marcia Martin, the Heart Healer, and today I have such a special gift to share with all of you. As we approach this Thanksgiving season, when we can honestly fill with gratitude and remember all that we are grateful for, because everything is pointing our attention to Thanksgiving and gratitude, so it's so much easier to remember. I want to share something with you which has changed my life, and that is the ability to clear and heal the heart. The technique that we're going to be using today is from Saint Germain. It's using the violet flame. And before we do that, we want to find out from my guides why we should use the violet flame, what we're doing in energy of this magnitude. And when I mean energy of this magnitude, we need to look at what's happening in the world. So we just passed the 11-11-11 gateway. This is not something that happens for a moment and that immediately disappears. Instead, this is an energy that we build up to that then slowly wanes away, similar to the cycles of the moon. We build up and then it gets a little less intense. We are still in the intense period right now, so you may be feeling a little more emotional or a little less certain. That's okay, because this type of energy, when we're in this type of intensity, emotions come up for us to look at them, old patterns, old ways of believing and behaving, limiting beliefs, thought systems that we may have swallowed without or absorbed as children without ever thinking, hey, how is this serving me? All of this may be coming up for your review, because this kind of energy is allowing us to function in the most optimal place possible. But that means getting rid of negativity. You can't drag your suitcase of negativity into a beautiful high place of positive energy and expect to feel good. At the very least, you're going to feel split. But you want to just let go of all those things that are holding you down, holding you back, keeping you prisoner. It is so much easier to live your life from a place of beautiful, wonderful, positive thoughts, feelings, and actions than it is to live your life from a place of fear or hatred or unworthiness. So, let's get ready to take advantage of this energy, and we have now, as a planet, moved so far in our ascension that even though we will not have energy of this magnitude constantly, there has been an upgrade in the type of energy that we're receiving on a daily basis. So if we want our lives to feel good and to flow more smoothly, it is absolutely essential that we let go of that negative thinking, the judgments, the prejudice, the anger. All of these can hold us in a place where it feels like we're fighting, like we're constantly fighting. We don't need to fight anymore. We have entered into, or we are in the process of entering into, the era of cooperation. Be out in front by letting go of that which is making you feel uncomfortable or holding you back or keeping you in that place of fear. It is so important. And today we're really going to get a big boost when we follow what my guides have shared with us by using the violet flame. And I have to mention quickly, then we want to move right into what my guides have chosen to share with us about this energy, first of all, we will have another influx of energy, another heightened energy day on the 22nd of November. And I would think that this time was a time of great purification, of getting ready, of releasing. Let's allow the 22nd to be our day of extreme gratitude for all that we've received and all that we've been able to release. And that way we can use these two high energy days in the most beautiful ways possible. So, also want to mention to you that when you use the violet flame, you may hear things like, "This will help purify you." Now, when I first started on my journey, when I heard words like, "You need to be purified," it said to me, well, I'm not good enough. I knew it. I'm not surprised. I never will be good enough. I can never be accepted or loved by the divine. That's not what is meant by purity. That was my own confusion making itself known. But when you hear the word purity used in the spiritual sense, it is just saying to you, allow this process to help you release anything that is holding you from being in perfect harmony with God. So negativity, limited beliefs, false thinking, hatred, anger, fear, all this stuff is in the way between ourselves and our God self and our God connection. And it contributes to making life very difficult. So when you purify in the spiritual sense, you are saying, yes, I agree to release those things that are holding me outside of my divine connection with God. It is not, I'm a hopeless, terrible person and I can never be loved by God. It is simply recognizing negative thoughts and feelings are keeping me in a place that I don't want to be, and I'm ready to release them. Okay, so let's take a look what our guides are telling us about fully opening our hearts during the 11-11-11 Gateway event. So the new moon ushered us into this beautiful space of expansion. And then for the purposes of identification, we had the 11th month, November, the 11th day, and then 2018, which reduces to an 11 year. That's how we got to 11-11-11. And when you see repeating numbers like this, it is definitely the universe saying to you, pay attention, there's something significant going on, and you would have a much easier time of it if you would allow these synchronistic events to help you. Don't push against them. Join with them. Find out what they want to offer you and join with them. So they begin. Dearest ones, when synchronicities such as the 11-11-11 portal enter your awareness, you must surrender to the magic that abounds during this period. Now, let me say just for a moment, we always have a choice. Now, they did say you must, but you can choose not to. What happens when you choose not to? You make life really tough because this energy doesn't cease to be because you've decided you don't want it. So you make life very tough for yourself. That's why they recommend, or they strongly suggest, and I recommend that you learn to go with the energy in the way, in the direction that the energy is going, which is positive and loving. This is a time to go deep into trust. Step away from the surface and the trivial aspects of your life and put your full attention and effort into going within. At the center of every being burns the divine light of the Creator. This light is the fire that fuels creation. Without this flame, you would not exist, for it's impossible for you to have created yourselves or for you to sustain yourselves once you have been established as a co-creator with the divine. You're not here by accident. You didn't become a human being by accident. You're here on a beautiful journey of exploration. It is to your benefit to learn everything you can about the journey and take advantage of all the tools that are being offered to you. Because God is a God of love, and love is all forgiving, there is nothing you could do or say that could cause God to withdraw their love from you. Not possible. You will hear different people who have differing beliefs tell you that God doesn't love you because of your actions. That's their interpretation, but it is not an accurate truth. So if you hear something like that, don't immediately begin chastising yourself. Instead, check with your heart. Does that sound true? Is it possible God no longer loves me? And you will be assured you are loved and you are safe. There is nothing and no way that you can be cast forth from the bosom of all there is. You can dim the light, lessen the connection, and pretend there is no God. You can go so far as to boldly proclaim that there's no God and state that you exist as an individual separate from all else. You can say these words and believe them to be true. You may even fashion a reality that attempts to prove the validity of your statements. But no matter how hard you try, no matter how many delusions you create for yourself, you can never make a universal truth a lie. You will always be connected to and a part of God. You will always be loved, and you can never be forsaken. Now, often when I share this with people, they say, do you mean I can do heinous things to others and God will still love me? Or I can hurt and maim and destroy myself and yet God will still love me? Absolutely. However, you are not free from the consequences of your actions. You will be loved, but you will also experience the consequences of your choices. So if you choose to go out and hurt other people, you will receive hurt in return, because law of attraction says that which we put forth comes back to us generally magnified. So understand that you are given the free will and the permission to act in any way you choose to act. But you must do so with the understanding that there is always a price tag attached, and that is consequences. The world doesn't stop operating so that you can have a fun time being mean to people and never experience any of that energy in return. So you can act any way you want to, but you will receive your actions on the return from other people. So with this understanding, we advise that you go deeper. This is a time of great awakening. Masses of people who believed they were separate now realize they are a united body. Those who competed relentlessly for the top spot are now making room at the table as the spirit of cooperation begins to unfurl. And those who were once looked upon with contempt are beginning to be seen for who they are. Within this spirit of unity, there is still pain, division, and competition. But slowly you are beginning to answer the call of the heart, and it's in this that you'll find your peace as well as the answers you seek. Little by little, if you look around, you will see more and more people choosing kindness rather than brutality, kindness rather than winning, kindness, realizing there's more than enough to go around and they don't need to be frantic or selfish. However, we are still in a period of massive restructuring, so it's not perfect. There are still going to be eruptions as we settle down into this new energy. Doesn't mean it's broken. It means we are moving through into a better place as we learn, as we decide what does serve our community and what does not. Therefore, as you enter this period of expanded, upgraded, and intensified energy, you must take time for a heart clearing. This does not have to be done every day, but you must honor the heart at least once while you have the assistance of energy of this magnitude. Whenever you participate in any sacred ceremony, you will greatly increase your chances of connecting at the deepest level when you take advantage of a natural occurring phenomena that will intensify your own energetic pattern. So that's why, while this is still a high energy, extremely high energy period, we are going to go into today together and do some work in the heart. You may be noticing that you're feeling either expanded amounts of energy or very contracted, very tired. You may be feeling extremely happy or periods of sorrow. Everything is coming up to the surface to be looked at, to be worked through, so that you can make a conscious choice, be the conscious creator, and not just the participant, the one that you feel like you're along for the ride and the ride is not so great. So we must keep in mind that all energy will be intensified at this time. This is not pick or choose. I only want to be happy. This is let's look at everything. This is why it's so important to participate in at least one heart clearing. And that's why we are doing that today, so everyone will have the opportunity. The intensity of energy is not restricted to positive energy. And please hear this next part that's coming up, because you must understand there is no running away. Much better to run in and correct than try to run away and sweep it under the rug. This is when those piles under the rug become volcanoes and erupt. If you choose to drag around a heavy sack of negative thoughts, emotions, limiting beliefs, and past trauma, you will find that your negative feelings are magnified. Be on the alert for how you're sabotaging yourself. If you feel overwhelmed, critical, and shameful, or you're allowing pity, victimization, and pain to control your thoughts, you will find yourself in a dark place. The possibility of suicidal thoughts during a period of intensive energy is very likely if you regularly indulge in the lower vibrational energies. Please understand that it's not somebody out to get you or you failing if you're feeling suicidal, if you're feeling like you can't go on, but it is a call for you to pay attention, to get help, to reach out and to say, something needs to change here. I cannot continue going the way that I am going. Understand that you are not being punished. God is not out to get you, and you are not a victim. You always have the choice to think uplifting thoughts. Take positive action and raise your vibration. No one is holding you down. You are holding yourself down, and the energy of this gateway is simply magnifying the energy that you're choosing to honor. Now, I understand that some days it feels like anything but this is true. On those days, take a deep breath, wrap yourself in a blanket of pink and gold light, which is unconditional love, paste a smile on your face, and fake it until you make it. Keep trying to think of positive things until you feel more positive. It is difficult some days. It's just not impossible. Every time you find yourself, your thoughts heading down the dark alley, you need to give yourself a little shake and say, that's not serving us. What can I think about that will make me smile, that will make me feel better, that will encourage me? And one thing I always recommend is if you are living alone or you're living in an all-adult household, get yourself to the park where there are some young children playing. Their laughter, their delight, their joy will take you out of yourself and into their world if you allow it, and you will get a reprieve from those dark negative thoughts that are holding you down or are trying to hold you down. So, the first step in your heart clearing practice should always be to take responsibility. You can't wait for the angels to arrive in a golden chariot and say, oh my gosh, you're having a bad day. Let's get out of the house and go where people are enjoying themselves or where you can lighten up a little. No, if you wait for that, probably you're going to be waiting for a really long time. So, take responsibility. I'm having a bad day. I'm having trouble getting around these thoughts. I need to do something that will be uplifting. And then take action that feels good to you. Because no one put you anywhere. And here again, another hard truth. You can point your finger and begin blaming people. If it wasn't for my parents, if it wasn't for my partner, if it wasn't for my boss, that's not going to serve you in the long run. It might feel good temporarily, but you will still have the problem. Take responsibility. No one put you anywhere. No one made your life miserable. No one is to blame. Not even you. Don't blame you. When you're not blaming others, don't blame you. Just, this is what it is. Now, what can I do to fix it? You can change the current situation from one of hopelessness to one of joy. Begin by stating to yourself, I am responsible for my thoughts, actions, and reactions. No one has power over me. Now, what does that do? Incredible freedom. I get to choose. You, partner, spouse, whomever, boss, you can be yelling and yelling and yelling, and I don't have to absorb what you are putting out. I can look at you and see, obviously you're having a very tough time right now. I need to either remove myself from your presence if I cannot block out what you're saying or block your energy or shield from that, or I need to stay in my neutral, beautiful place and begin sending out as much loving energy as I can to help you make the decision to find your own way to positivity and to feeling better. I cannot get in it with you and start exchanging harsh words or start telling you what to do. I'm not here to live your life for you. If someone asks you for your help, make a suggestion. But getting into a shouting match and telling them what they should do is never going to have a positive outcome. So now that you firmly stated your truth, remember you said, I am responsible for my thoughts, actions, and reactions. If I choose to become discontent, that's my choice. If I choose to stay in my high place of love, joy, and peace, that is also my choice. I am not under someone else's control. So, now that you've firmly stated your truth, take action to dismantle the false and limiting beliefs that are allowing you to feel overwhelmed with negativity. You can't just say to yourself, oh, I'm responsible, and then do nothing to change your current thinking. I'm responsible, but I won't do anything isn't going to work. I'm responsible for this negativity I'm feeling or thinking. I am the only one that can change this for myself. Use this surging energy to make your spiritual work even easier. Now, really, really important, as we are in this high energy, take advantage of it. Go deeply into the heart and lovingly examine that which you hold dear. This is your opportunity to not have to work so hard to release yourself from negativity. Begin first with the beliefs that you accepted as a child. Most of us have these beliefs that we just grew up with, and unless something has come to really challenge them, we just keep going along the same way because there's some inertia involved there, and it's easier just not to think about it. There's plenty of other things to think about. So those old beliefs that we've always believed might be in the corner collecting dust and cobwebs and causing us a problem. Pay particular attention to the religious and societal beliefs that were part of the fabric in which you grew up. Religion and society can both sneak in there, and examine these beliefs for unloving attitudes such as fear, prejudice, blame, shame, superiority, etc. These can be really hidden, and we really need to look carefully. We do not ask that you abandon your religion or your community. Nobody said you cannot go to the church that you choose to belong to and worship the way that feels good to you, or that you need to leave the city in which you live. That is not what this is saying. They are telling you, we do advise that you look at each article, each pillar of your belief system, and ask yourself, does this support me and others or divide us? Because if the belief is God-centered, it will be loving and supportive of you as well as your neighbor. You will never hear God say, you're special, but that other one over there, no. That is ego. That's not God. This is what is meant when you were instructed to love your brother as you love yourself. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Love each other as you love yourself. We all are here as one collective whole. Even though we are in individual bodies, it is so important that we learn to let go of the fear that is trying to divide us and begin to unite through love. When you come from love and are willing to receive love, the end product is a more powerful and more perfect society. As you address each belief system with the loving energy pouring forth upon you during this time of deep cleansing and awakening, remember to exist only in love. Remember, you are part of the society. As the society strengthens, you strengthen. So anything you do for another will help you. I am not asking you to give away the remainder of your resources. That is not loving yourself. I am asking you to share a kind word. If you have extra to share, the extra. But to come from a place of love for all. Once you've made peace with the beliefs you hold, move on to the grudges. It's imperative that you release all resentment and thoughts of revenge. You've entered into a time of high vibrational energy. If you try to drag your lower vibrational thoughts into this high vibrational space, you'll feel as though your soul has been cleaved in two. Now, there still are eruptions of violence. I recognize that. And they are happening because people who are steeped in negativity are also being exposed to this high vibrational energy, and it makes them literally crazy. It's impossible to bring a grudge into the space of unconditional love that is God. But if you try to justify your hatred, and that's what they're trying to do when they pick up a gun and go into a place and just shoot randomly, that's exactly what you'll be trying to do. The result will be a psychic schism during which you resort to violence or a complete psychotic break. Now, when you bring heavy, heavy, heavy negativity into a place of high, positive, loving light, it will feel as though your head is going to explode. You can't exist in both spaces. So you will either completely retreat into a fantasy world that only you can see, or you get a gun and you go after people you've never met before, trying to do something about the pain in your head, the pain that you are feeling because you're not able to reconcile with love. I don't want that to happen for anyone. So this is why it is so important that you release the negativity. Because as always, the choice will be yours, as will the consequences of that choice. You may try to ignore the calling of the higher vibrations or pretend you bear no ill will toward your fellow man, but your heart will know and you'll cause yourself unnecessary pain. Take the time to call anyone with whom you bear a grudge to the altar of your heart. Lay their sins upon that altar. Look what they did to me. Look at this wrongdoing. Lay your perception of their actions on the altar. Oh, this is how I see it. This is not feeling good to me. I'm not sure what they meant. Lay the hurt and heartache experienced by all upon the altar. Take that pain. Take your neighbor's pain. Take the world's pain and put it on the altar. And then call upon Saint Germain. Invoke the violet flame to cleanse and purify that which was made unclean, so you may enter the space of unconditional love fully and completely. Remember to always include grievances you hold about your own person when you're filling the altar with grudges. That which is uttered as self-criticism is not spoken from a place of love. They are really calling us out on everything. The self-criticism has to go. The hidden grudges have to go. The look what they've done to me has to go. The pain in the world that you're feeling for the world, from the world, that has to go. Just let it all go. Once you've examined your beliefs and released the grudges, place your entire being into the violet flame. Hold nothing back. Allow this flame of purity to dismantle any energetic streams that have become entangled or stagnant. This is a time of intense love which encourages wellness on every level. Body, mind, and spirit, nothing can be left out. Instead of complaining about what's not working in your life, it's time to release old patterns and fully let go. Step into the violet flame and immerse yourself in the powerful energy of this ray. As you open more completely to the unconditional love pouring forth from your divine creator. If you will do this work with me today and continue to do your best to staying in a heart place of unconditional love, you will see so many wonderful changes in your life. It is so worth the time and the energy to release yourself from negativity. Remember also, we have been asked to enter into a time of trust. So this means that you're not going to be able to hang on to your previous disbelief. Just enter wholly into a time of trust. Surrender to the divine instead of trying to hold yourself separate. Now we know with some part of our being, we all know that we cannot fully separate from the divine. But we are in physical bodies, and sometimes the illusion of separation can get in the way of our knowingness, and then it becomes sort of a game or a challenge to see how much we can do on our own. This is not the time to try to go solo. This is the time to surrender and trust. Keep your focus on forgiving yourself. No self-criticism can flourish in this kind of atmosphere, or if it does, you really give yourself a tough go. So keep your focus on forgiving yourself and all others so that you may remain cradled in the arms of God in this warm, loving place that has been created by this incredibly thin veil. It's as though God opened up the French doors of heaven wide open and said, for this period of time, I will pour out my love, and nothing will stand between me and those whom I love. Usually we have this thick cushion, a veil, that obscures some of this energy. God has never changed. God never changes. God is unchanging. So God, since the beginning of time, has been pouring out their love upon us. That unconditional love has been pouring out in the same way, at the same speed, since the beginning of time. However, in the very beginning, there was a huge gap covered with layers of stuff that we had to learn between us and that unconditional love. And as we have evolved as a society and as individuals, that distance between us and the divine has gotten smaller and smaller until now we have ascended to the place where we can have almost perfect access to that unconditional love that has been there all the time but was just buffered quite a bit. So it's like being in a snowstorm where things are very cold and the wind is blowing, a blizzard, being in a blizzard, it's cold and the wind is blowing and the snow is hitting you, and perhaps it's even got icicles in the little snow. The pellets are so beating against you. And then walking into the next room and being in the land of sunshine. And that's what's happening for this period of time. It will decrease, and then it will come again. We'll get another really intense period in June. So just enjoy this. Learn from this how to let go of that which is not serving you, and then do your best to acclimate to this energy, to learning to stay in that high place of love, joy, and peace. And then you'll get another boost right around in June. So you'll be buoyed along in the arms of God. Just remember, when you hold unforgiveness in your heart, you're separating yourself from God and all that is, and that is such a hard way to live. God will always love and protect you, and you will always be cherished. But you can choose to withdraw from God. But now is not the time. Now is the time to answer the call of the heart, the unification of all people, and help usher in this spirit of cooperation that will replace the spirit of competition, which has allowed for our society to be so badly skewed. We honor the heart when we allow ourselves to let go of unforgiveness and limiting beliefs, negative thinking, and trauma. When we're in periods of intensified energy, everything is magnified. So, yes, it can feel overwhelming, especially if you're holding on to that time when something didn't go well. Because you don't get to choose what expands and what contracts. Just everything gets magnified. Every emotion, feeling, and thought is affected. But we always have wonderful tools because we're never without resources. And this heart clearing that we're going to all participate in will help eliminate the negativity. So, if you don't address the negativity, or you try to hide behind it with labels like self-pity and victimization, you may experience those suicidal thoughts, and you may even attempt or succeed at suicide. You may experience extreme bouts of anger, depression, and overwhelm, or you might just check out from reality completely. I want you to be able to be here and enjoy where you are and be a beacon of light for all others around you. Because God is not punishing you. God is opening a door to make your life better. So now, before we drop into our hearts and use this beautiful energy of the violet flame, I just want to see if there are any concerns or questions before we begin. Star 2 to raise your hand. And remember, we're going to be asking ourselves, is this loving? Does it solve my problem by serving my highest good? It cannot, if it is not loving and it's not for the highest good of you and everyone else, it's not going to solve the problem. It's going to create a bigger one. Does this enable me to expand into a more universal state of beingness? Loving your neighbor as you love yourself. Star 2, questions or concerns before we begin. And now we're going to make peace with all of our beliefs. We'll release or reform them so that they honor your highest good. They represent love and joy. Okay, so close your eyes. And let's just take a moment to begin relaxing. Breathing in deeply and completely. I want you to allow this breath of unconditional love to enter into your body and to begin relaxing every part of you. Breathe in love and acceptance and just let go of doubt, fear, hatred, anger. As you relax your feet, your ankles and your calves, allowing the entire body to relax with each breath, breathing in love and acceptance, releasing the pain, the hurt, and the disappointment. Just let it go. And relax your knees, thighs, pelvis, lower back, mid-back, shoulder blades. Breathe in love and acceptance and just let go. Let go of everything that no longer serves your highest good. As you relax the abdomen, chest and heart, relax the throat, facial muscles, and scalp. Deep breath of unconditional love and relax your entire being. Placing your attention on your higher self point, 10 to 12 inches above your head, let us bring the love of God in through the crown chakra, directly into the midbrain area, hypothalamus, corpus callosum, pineal gland, forward to the third eye, back to the midbrain, down to the nape of the neck, the alta major, forward to the throat, thymus, located midway between the heart and the throat. Bringing the energy of divine love into the heart, let it expand. It doesn't need any direction. Let it expand. And now into the solar plexus, sacrum, root. Expanding this energy down through the pranic tube, down into the heart of Mother Earth. Sharing with her unconditional love, respect, honor, joy, peace. She shares with us the ability to renew and restore. Those old beliefs that are no longer serving you, renew them. Restore your energy. Feel uplifted. And bring this combined stream of energy up through the pranic tube. And let us first bless the root, the sacrum, solar plexus, and heart. Breathing in love and acceptance directly to the heart, we release that which is painful. And now, blessing the thymus, throat, nape of the neck, midbrain area, third eye, crown. We allow this combined stream of energy to go up through the higher self point, and we give it as a gift of gratitude to God, that they may add their complete understanding, their loving all-knowingness to this energy, and send it out to all universes known and unknown, and down upon the earth and everything in it and on it. But the most sacred portion of this energy now comes down through your higher self point, directly into your heart, where you allow it to form a circle of white light. This is a sacred circle. You cannot be hurt or harmed within this circle. You may call others here, even those with whom you feel frightened or aggravated, and you will experience no hurt or harm. Call yourself to the circle as you are now. See it in your mind's eye or feel it in the area, the vicinity of your heart. And once you have arrived in the circle, create an altar of magnificent beauty. It matters not what it looks like. It matters only that you look upon it and you see something beautiful. You see something that speaks to your heart and immediately allows that heart to expand with joy. Once you have created the altar, if you desire to do so, you may decorate it. And let us place upon it either a cloth that is violet in color, or light that is violet, or some objects that are violet, so that we acknowledge and thank Saint Germain for bringing his energy of the violet flame. Whenever we do work in the energetic, the colors help us attune to the frequency where this light is occurring, where this work is occurring. And that's why it's powerful for us to feel, envision, or in some way bring into our sacred space the energy of the color, the energy of the violet flame. And now your altar is decorated, and you have something violet, or many things that are violet in the altar space. Take a moment now to place a candle upon the altar. Allow this to be your candle of transformation. Using the energy of the violet flame, light this candle and ask that it help you release anything which is holding you back at this time. Anything that is causing you to feel discontent, weak, small, pitiful, victimized. And now, you may see yourself writing a note. Dear self, I love you. I am so sorry that I have caused you such hurt and harm by holding on to these behaviors and attitudes that just no longer serve us. And if you like, you may list out all of the behaviors and the attitudes on your imaginary piece of paper on which you're writing this love note. Or you can just speak them into the circle, either silently or out loud. Or you may fashion another way in which you want to place all of that which is no longer serving you, all that negativity. Your goal is just to place it on the altar without judgment. All of those grudges, all of those grievances, all of those people who have caused you hurt or harm, either deliberately or just by something that they did unknowingly. Let go of the reason if you feel it and it is hurting you in any way, if it is a negative thought or feeling or reaction, don't judge it. Just place it on the altar. Take as much time as you need, but search your heart. What are you holding on to? All those who have hurt you. Now take all those you have hurt, either deliberately or unintentionally. Place them on the altar. Add in your perception. What happened? What do you believe happened? What does your reality tell you happened? Don't judge it. Remember, we create our own reality by the thoughts that we choose to think, the way that we choose to view things. Without judging, simply place your perception, your perceptions of everything on the altar. Let us remember our personal grievances, those things we dislike about ourselves. If you feel that you have reached down into the depths and you've taken up all that is bothering you about others, about the world, about life in general, about any situation, and then you have taken your perception of those events, recognizing that it may not be the way you're perceiving it to be. If you've really dug down deep and you feel empty of all of that, now take your entire being. Hold nothing back. Allow every aspect of you to be laid upon that altar. You may physically see yourself climb up on the altar and just stretch out. This is a loving purification. No harm can come to you. Nothing that is already serving you will be removed, but all that is holding you back in any way will be transformed into a vibration of unconditional love that will serve you in the way that is best for you. Allow everything about you to be purified, to be swept clean, so you sparkle inside and out, so that you may move powerfully through the energy of unconditional love. Now, as you have been filling your altar, Saint Germain has been cultivating the flame. It now burns beneath the altar as a small but potent flame. And when you have finished placing everything, including yourself, upon the altar, it will be time to allow the flame to engulf you, to come around the sides, on all of the sides, in a circular way, so that everything is consumed, and the flame will then meet at the top. And the color right now is the deepest, most beautiful violet. Now, allow this flame of transformation to begin helping you to release, to burn away, to let go of everything that is not for your highest good. Just watch as this flame begins doing its purifying work. You may see that the color changes from that deepest violet until it is clear you can see through it, or you can see the lights of angels within the flame. I will tone the words on your God's self-adjusting light to help you open more fully to the beautiful transformational properties of the violet flame. You need do nothing but accept this. Bring it in, breathe it in, say yes. That is the action that is required by you. Breathe in, say yes to the transformation. Yes to letting go of the negativity. On you, on you, on you, on you, on you, on you, on you. Continuing to allow yourself to be bathed within the violet flame. Just let go, release, work with the energy. On you, on you, on you, on you, on you, on you, on you. And now, breathing deeply, you will begin to feel yourself lightening as though heavy weights have dropped away from you. Welcome the lightening. Welcome the transformation. Welcome the freedom that you're now feeling within your heart. On you, on you, on you, on you, on you, on you, on you. As the flame now burns clear, with the help of all of the angels and the ascended masters that join us to do this work, I am wrapping each one of you in a blanket of pink and gold light, that you may feel secure and loved from the divine, loved from the energetic realm, loved from the authentic essence that is your true self. Allow this love to begin expanding in your heart. And now take this love and allow it to continue to expand. Allow it to grow and grow and grow, so that there is no room left in your heart for anything but unconditional love. And now extend this unconditional love out into every area of your body, that you may experience physical well-being. And now extend again this energy from the heart of unconditional love into the emotional, mental, spiritual body. Allow your spiritual self to feel renewed and restored, to feel the strength of the divine presence, the support, to feel uplifted, to feel connected, guided. And now, allow this energy to expand even further so that it expands to the furthest reaches of your energetic field, the ends of your auric field. And allow the energy now to be a shield to protect you from negative energies that may or may not be directed at you. It doesn't matter. And if someone is having a difficult time or a bad day, you can be shielded from their negativity and offer them in its place your unconditional, loving light. So not only will you be able to stay in your high place of love, joy, and peace, but you can share with them, and if they are so inclined, they too can receive that love. In this way, you are loving your neighbor as you love yourself. You are loving your brother. And you are furthering the light of love within your own heart. For when we give away anything from the divine, it simply expands and creates more, so that we remain full and we give from our overflow, never to empty, always to be overflowing. If you have laid yourself upon the altar, you may get up now, still safe within your circle of white light. Look down at your beautiful, transformed body. Are you sparkling? Yes, sparkling with the light of 1,000 suns. For you are filled with the Holy Spirit light. You may keep this altar within your sacred circle for as long as you desire, and you may return whenever you desire, calling upon Saint Germain. He is happy to assist you, happy to make this journey easy. Follow your heart. Return to this sacred place whenever it feels loving to do so. You will always create more out of love than you could ever out of hate or fear. Choose love, choose to expand, choose to share. And now take a deep breath. And whenever you're ready, come on back, open your eyes, stretch if you like, and know that you have done more by accepting the violet flame into your heart and into your life than you could have ever done on your own. Thank you for being a part of today. Thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to be on this call and to bless yourself and to be a blessing to others. It has been my greatest honor to be with you today. And until next Wednesday, I'm sending you all my love.